Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
हमारे कार्यक्रम पेश किए जाते कई भाषाओं में कृपया देखें suprememastertv.com/schedule.
So I worked with a lot of patients who weren't able to speak anymore, weren't able to walk, but often those same people were still able to sing with me and interact through music.
Music therapist Eva Hamer, vegan, the compelling health benefits of music therapy, part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, let's show that we love our neighbors.
Compassionate viewers, my name is Angie. If you hear the phrase "Comment ça va?", that means "How are you?" in Seychellois Creole, one of the official languages in the Republic of Seychelles. The delightful people of Seychelles thank you for adopting a vegan diet to ensure the world is a sustainable and abundant residence for our future generations. Welcome to our show, music therapist Eva Hamer, vegan, the compelling health benefits of music therapy, part 2 of 2. In part 1, we learned from Ms. Eva Hamer how music can bring therapeutic benefits to people, such as easing pain, addressing unresolved emotions, as well as bringing comfort to people going through difficult times. Today, we will continue to explore how music therapy can contribute to our wellness and find out how the brain reacts to music. Ms. Hamer received her Bachelor's of Music in Music Therapy from Western Michigan University in the United States and became a certified music therapist after the completion of her internship at a hospice. She previously worked for Journey Care, a provider of palliative, supportive, and end-of-life care for patients of all ages in Illinois. With many years of experience in music-related treatment, Ms. Hamer sees great potential in music to enrich people's lives and provide comfort. Currently, she extends her compassion to the people of the animal kingdom by being part of the Animal People Rights Movement as legal coordinator for Direct Action Everywhere, a Shining World Courage Compassion recipient.
We know that music really works globally in the brain. A lot of different functions, we can kind of identify a particular area of the brain where they live, which means that if you have a deficiency or an injury in a certain area of the brain, then that can lead to impaired function. So if you have a certain kind of brain injury, you might not be able to speak. But music doesn't really work quite the same way as speech does or as motor activity does. And it can really live globally, we say, meaning in all areas of the brain. And so when somebody has a deficiency or a injury in a particular part of the brain, using music to work on that deficiency can actually reroute some pathways around the part of the brain that's injured to relearn some activities and some skills that have been lost. When people have a degenerative disease such as dementia, they can really lose a lot of that ability to learn and grow. There's no cure for Alzheimer's yet, and I really hope that we see a cure in our lifetime. But what we know, music therapy can really help the quality of life of people with dementia and neurodegenerative diseases by stimulating some of the skills that are still there. We talk about music kind of existing globally in the brain. Whatever is still functioning in someone with dementia can often be stimulated by music. So I worked with a lot of patients who weren't able to speak anymore, weren't able to walk, weren't able to do really much of anything, but often those same people were still able to sing with me and able to kind of come out of their shells and interact through music.
The brain's ability to change and move a function from a damaged area to an unaffected area to adapt is called neuroplasticity. Through activating this process, patients can gradually find their connection to the world again.
People with speech impairments are helped immensely by music therapy. There's an intervention called melodic intonation therapy, and it's done by both music therapists and speech therapists. And it's this very regimented way to teach people to speak again when they've lost the ability to speak through something like brain damage. And it's a very interesting process to watch. It's something where you'll start with some sort of phrase that we want to hear from the patient put into song. So the therapist will take some kind of thing that the person really wants to be able to say. You know, maybe it's really important that the patient is able to ask for coffee in the morning. And so they say, I'd like coffee with 2 sugars. That kind of phrase, let's say. And the therapist will listen to that phrase and how it's kind of naturally said. I'd like coffee with 2 sugars. And they'd listen really hard for the melody that's already present in that phrase. And they would present this very, very melodic version of that phrase to the patient and teach them to sing it. Because we know that even if the speech center of the brain is damaged and someone isn't able to speak anymore, they can still learn to sing. And so through learning to sing, they'll very slowly phase out the music from what the patient can already do. They can already sing the phrase, I'd like coffee with 2 sugars. And very slowly, by taking out the music, the patient ends up being able to speak the phrase that they want to say.
Be vegan, not only you will go to paradise after this life, this world will also become a paradise because of your benevolence.
We will pause a moment for a constructive message and be right back. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to music therapist Eva Heimer, Vegan. The compelling health benefits of music therapy, part 2 of 2 on Supreme Master Television. As we heard previously, it's amazing how those with brain damage can learn to communicate through singing instead of using the normal neural pathways to speak. In general, is music therapy less effective if someone does not have any musical background?
Anyone can definitely benefit from music therapy with or without musical skills. And sometimes musical skills could even be a detriment. Sometimes people who are trained musicians are so used to being skilled that maybe if they've lost some of their skills, that can be really emotionally difficult for them to interact with music. And that's definitely something I've seen in hospice quite a bit. But yeah, music therapy is very useful to anybody with or without musical skills.
A drum circle involves a group of people playing drums in a circle or semicircle, with the participants expressing themselves by drumming a rhythm. It can serve as one form of music therapy.
So often in music therapy, we really want it to be interactive, just like a drum circle. Like we really want to get people involved because it's through doing that we can really solidify a lot of these processes. And so just like in a drum circle, how kind of any non-musician can join in, a music therapy session should really be accessible to the individual and really personalized to their ability level. I think the really cool thing about drum circles is that participants and audience are often the same. People who participate are the people who are playing music, and people who are playing are the ones that the benefit is for often. And I think that it can be a huge mood booster. It can be a way to interact with others. It can be a way to fight social isolation and to improve group cohesion of the group that's participating in the drum circle.
We ended our interview by asking Ms. Heimer about how her experiences as a music therapist have helped in her current career as an animal people rights activist.
Walk with you and sing your spirit home.
Frida, one more time. And so when I got involved in activism, I was already a music therapist, and so it was a very natural thing to do to try to offer that to the movement. I really like to apply the principles of music therapy to my activism, to think about animal rights activists who are experiencing some really difficult things and are experiencing quite a bit of emotional trauma when we think about animals dying every day. And so I love to use music with activists to help their emotional resilience and their group cohesion and their feelings of empowerment and closeness to each other. And so I often lead songs in protests, and I write animal rights songs and try and get as many people involved in music so that they can really feel like part of a group, which was such a powerful experience that I had when I first got involved in activism, was to know that, you are not alone, that there are other people who really care about this just like you do.
We really appreciate Ms. Eva Heimer for taking the time to introduce the valuable role music therapy can play in our lives and sharing how she is now helping the people from the animal kingdom through music. For more information about Eva Heimer, please visit facebook.com/eva.c.heimer, twitter.com/Eva Heimer.
I had quite a few symptoms, but since I went fully vegan, I don't feel it at all anymore. Chris Smalling, vegan.
Vibrant viewers, we are honored to have you with us today for the concluding program of our two-part series. Up next is Catholic Priests Should Preach the True Gospel of Lord Jesus, Part 6 of 8, on Between Master and Disciples. May your days be filled with serenity and contentment always.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/HL.